Hi, this is Micornus, Phokane, the leader and the founder of the Young Men Empowerment Forum. We are speaking about things that you need not bother about because they are out of your control. And this is part 3 today that we're dealing with this topic. And I hope that you have listened to our previous lessons. And we speak about this topic because it's very important. This is a topic that should bring sanity to your mind as a young man, a topic that should actually make you to become stable in your mind and never actually mix up your emotions and never to raise up your anger because of the things that you're not in control of, things that are out of your control. And we speak about those so that you can be aware of those and try to be aware of not meddling too much with them and worrying too much with them, because that will stress you and it may not help your health at all. And one of those things that are out of your control is the outcome of your efforts. The outcome of your efforts. And this has bothered young men a lot, whereby they felt that they've done a lot in life, but yet they don't get the results that are desired to be got. And I want to say this, that sometimes it looks like life is unfair, isn't it? Because you are putting so much effort and you find that with your efforts are not being rewarded as you thought. And there are those people that look like they're not putting effort in some areas of their lives, but yet things are happening. Don't you remember a time where you see people that didn't go to school like you did actually making money more than you do? People that don't have degrees that you have, people that have not graduated like you do, people that never studied, even illiterate people, but they can make money more than you can do. And you stress about it and say, but why am I not making money while I've studied so much? I've got so many degrees. I've qualified. I'm highly qualified. I'm highly skilled as well. These are my efforts that I've put in life, but yet I don't get the reward. When you look around, you see people that have not gone to school like you have gone, but yet they're making lots of money. And that is something that stresses individuals, I know. And as a young man, of course, you will get stressed. But these are the things that you need not bother about because they are out of your control. Now, the outcomes of your efforts are not always controlled by you. And that is why sometimes you do great things and you make efforts, but those efforts really never materialize because your effort just ran short a little bit. We have seen this in putting more energy in studies. And as I said, sometimes you've put a lot of effort in preparation of exams, but yet you still fail that exam after so much effort. And these are things that are disheartening generally in life. And I'm sure you'll agree with me as a young man that most of the time we even give up in life. Some of the young men even get depressed, and some go to an extent of feeling like committing suicide because what is that for me to live for? But I want to encourage you as a young man that it is not time to kill yourself, because there are those things that are efforts that we make that may not pay off as we expect them to pay off. And that is out of our control. Therefore, need not bother about that. And I know that is not making sense when I say you need not bother about that. But I'm emphasizing it because it is very important that you take care of things that you can control. Because the things that are out of your control, you may cry day in and day out, but they are not going to be fixed because of your crying. They are not going to change because of your crying either. So please, as a young man, be careful not to bother yourself much about outcomes of your efforts that you've put in that may not have materialized in the way that you want it to materialize. And I'm sure, as I said, you feel like sometimes life is unfair. Why so-and-so is having that and he never worked as hard as I did? Why so-and-so is successful and he never worked hard like I do? He never put effort like I do. And these are type of things that are actually happening in life. But life happens, by the way. And I want you to remember that. And don't actually kill yourself because of that. So it is very important that as a young man, you are aware of those, that there are things that you'll put a lot of effort in, but yet get no outcomes. There are hard works that you have sweated and done things very, very hard way, but yet you have not reaped the results of your hard work. And that may be disheartening to you. But I want to tell you, as a young man, that please that is not in your control. So therefore, don't stress about that. If you're stressing about it, you're actually just tampering with your mental health, and don't do that at all. Now, the other thing that is out of your control is past mistakes. And I want to speak a little bit about past mistakes, because I want to make you aware as a young man that we are all not angels. We are human beings, and we are fallible as human beings. What do I mean? When I say as human beings we are fallible, I mean that we all make mistakes. It's just that some mistakes are very glaring. Some mistakes are very minimal in a way that nobody will see. Now, some mistakes are detrimental in a way that they will remain with you for the rest of your life, while some mistakes you can be able to recover from. I'm just actually making the differences about that, because past mistakes are past mistakes. But the difference will be how detrimental was that mistake, or how deep was that mistake, and how that mistake can bear results that you can carry over. For instance, there are some of you as young men who have actually gone to impregnate ladies actually at a younger age. Those were mistakes of a young child or a young boy that grew up by peer pressure. And you've done those mistakes, and there have been children that were born out of those mistakes. Now, you cannot wish away those kids. You cannot actually pray them away either. You cannot actually just decide to wake up in the morning, forgotten about those kids, and they disappear. They're not going to just disappear like that. Why? Because these are the past mistakes that bore results. They've got seeds that you planted and that gave fruit. And that fruit of that mistake will be with you for the rest of your life. Now, it is very important, therefore, to say this, that at that point, the mistake may have caused you so much pain. But what it is going to determine whether you go on and progress in life or fail, it is how do you handle past mistakes. And I'm saying today, as I'm teaching you as a young man, that be careful not to dwell on past mistakes, because the past mistakes have happened already. And there's nothing that you can do about that. You cannot reverse that which you have done in the past. Therefore, there's nothing much that you can do to reverse. Now, because there's nothing much that you can do to reverse, I want to urge you as a young man that there are those mistakes that deal with the consequences, carry them over, but don't stress about it, because it's a mistake that you've done, and you've done it because you've had an oversight of things that you were not aware of, that they will cause so much pain. Now, bear the pain of the past mistakes, but don't dwell on your past mistakes. Don't judge yourself as those mistakes. Tell yourself you've made those mistakes, but you can recover from those mistakes. And as a young man, I want to urge you that you are aware that every single mistake that we've gone through, we are able to recover from that. But it's a mindset change or a certain paradigm that will help you to conquer the mistakes that are in the past and move on in your life and become a better person. Because if you stick to the previous mistakes, and of course you are actually dwelling on that, and your mind is forever on, you will not see a future of your own. You'll not see progress in what you're doing, because you'll forever pinch yourself to say, I have done these mistakes and therefore I'll die in these mistakes. And I want you to remember that it's like tripping and falling along the way. Mistakes are like that. When you've tripped and fallen on the way as a young man, you'll never sleep on that ground for the rest of your life and say, because I've fallen yesterday. Rains come, storms come, and find you've fallen just on that particular place, and you say, because I've fallen yesterday. So mistakes are like that. So therefore, what happens is that when you've fallen in a place, you'll rise up quickly. One, you'll look around of who have seen you, and you realize that quickly after you've looked around whether somebody has seen you, you'll actually dust yourself off quickly. And you would have stood up quickly, look around, and you dust yourself off quickly. And generally, you know what happens next? Is that when you've dusted yourself out quickly, you'll walk away, and as if nothing has happened. You would actually make sure that people don't even have a trace that you've fallen. And you realize what will happen is that you will walk away from that point. And next time, then, when you find yourself within the same path where you're fallen, you'll actually be careful even more of not falling into the same ditch, and also walk away from it because you've learned from it. The same with mistakes. And I want to emphasize that the process of mistakes should be the same, like when you're fallen on the street, that you'll never lie there forever. And your mistakes as well. They were mistakes, therefore don't dwell on them. Make sure that you rise up out of your mistake and become a better person and learn out of them and improve on that as well. You've got no control of those past mistakes, so please get out of them and become a better person, because you are better than your previous mistakes. I want to end up here today, your host, Micornus Phokane. Thank you very much for learning out of this, listening to us, and being part of this. Remember to like our Facebook page, Young Men Empowerment Forum, our Facebook page, Micornus Phokane. Make sure that you click notification buttons on those so that you may be notified when we've posted material on the Facebook page. But also remember our YouTube channel. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. We've got a lot of materials that we've put in there, and those materials will help you going forward. You'll never be the same as a young man. You're learning from all these materials that we put on our YouTube channel. You'll never be the same again. I want to shout out right now and check out from this platform right now and urge you to join us tomorrow as we deal with part 4 of this great topic. Your host, Micornus Phokane, the leader and the founder of Young Men Empowerment Forum once more. Allow me to check out right here and say cheers for now.